Why do I not? Okay, yeah. Headphones. Those are important. Okay, bringing the streams online. Setting up now. Okay, can I hear anything? Can you hear anything? Microphone's way out of place. Let's mute it and move. Oh, guys, I'm muted while I get set up. 1 second. Oh, that doesn't even show the whole thing, does it? Can you guys hear me? Face cam on. Okay, there we go. Gotta move the mic up a little bit. Better, okay. Howdy, Steven here from Michigan. Welcome, Barbara Gorgon in the house. Welcome, Chevrolet Diesel Nation. Welcome, John Bowers. Dreams 0103. Glad to have you guys. Okay, so we have things to do. Now, if we want to just focus on this part of the build. Okay, good. Our Hermitcraft tweet just went out. That's good. Hope you guys are doing well. So, technically, I need to bring this down to 80 since one of them just came out. But if you guys want to keep funding next few Hermit Skies. Okay, cool. Thank you to Eagle Tham for her, and everybody who's given recently. So today's, and tomorrow's, and the next days, or at least whenever they release, the next, today plus the next 2 Hermit Skies are ad-free, thanks to support from viewers like you. Okay, so is Tinfoil Chef still online? Yeah, okay. Let's think about how we want to do this. We can't really do... Oh, happy birthday, John Bowers. But yeah, if you are under Really, you shouldn't just say your age on YouTube ever. They don't like that. So. Oh no, a chicken escaped. That's good. Okay, so how are we gonna kick off this you know what we're gonna do? Here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna run over to our castle and get some stuff set up for that. We're gonna rip out a big chunk of roof. I don't have have I worn out all of my shovels? We're gonna get a shovel and we're gonna break part of our castle and we're gonna fix it. Barbara Gorgon isn't following me on Twitter. Goodness gracious alive. Well, hopefully now I have a new follower on Twitter. You guys can all follow me at twitter.com/JoeHills. Yay. Thank you for the follow, Barbara. Glad to have you. Let's see, where are we? We are going here to put some of these things in here. I'm gonna take these ones out. Nether brick, black wool. I probably should have left some of this stuff in the nether. No, I need the black wool for that build. Okay, I'm just trying to think through every piece of this. Gray wool, we'll keep. Seeds. Let's move our tulips over. Okay. This is probably a reasonable point to be at here in terms of our storage. Okay. Thank you, Chevrolet Diesel, for the follow as well. Let me see if I can figure out how Twitter works. I'm using an unfamiliar Twitter interface because I've had weird computer problems lately, so I'm trying to run fewer things. Oh, yep, there you are. And William Faraday, thank you for the follow. Had some weird computer things yesterday, so I'm trying to be a little bit more conservative with what I have running on the processor when I'm trying to stream or record. Okay, come on. Okay, so we'll get rid of these blocks. We'll go ahead and store... Oh, I do have a shovel. How did I miss that? We'll put this... No, we want to keep the black wool. But we'll throw this and toss that and the shears for right now. Keep some extra ender pearls in here too. Actually, every stack that we can free up will probably be helpful to have freed up. So, yeah, let's just kind of go all out here. Okay. Merry Christmas, everybody. We are going to have a little bit of fun today. I'm going to get set up for TFC. I'm going to talk a little bit about a Doctor Who idea I had because, yeah, that's the sort of thing that I do in my free time is come up with Doctor Who plots. And we'll probably close out the episode with a poem sponsored by Mother Yackle that makes this episode mid-roll ad-free when it goes up on YouTube tomorrow. So, good news all around for everybody. Let's see how this is going over here. Whoops, I'm stuck. Merry Christmas, Hamza. Welcome to Kajun. Glad to have you. So, we are gonna... This is why I need so many ender pearls, so I can ender pearl through these windows and save myself a lot of time. Okay. So we'll put this black wool up in here for now, as well as these books. That seems like a good place to put those. Now, what else do we need? We need to mentally prepare ourselves for this episode. We might need our efficiency 5 shovel with our fortune 2. Although, let's just carry both of them on us. Yeah. Okay, so anything else in here we are going to need? Fireworks won't make us fly without the thing on us. Maybe an item frame and 1 book would be helpful. Oh, well, the Doctor Who idea we're probably going to do a different way. Actually, let's... Of course, now that I can't fly, it's a real it's actually really difficult to get to the top of the tower and back down. So let's go on up here through our throne room, through our stairwell door here, into our Hall of Heroes. Dang it, did I not have... I could have sworn I forgot to close one of these walls up. There it is. Okay. So we're gonna go over to here or so and get started with this. Make sure to eat before we start recording the video. Do I purposely not use endgame gear, or do I just not grind for it? I'll grind for it, Light Yagami, but when I die, I don't have time to go get it back. So it's easier to just get okay gear and then recover that. But we're going to go ahead and start the recording. Start recording. Hermitcraft, episode 129. Merry Christmas to TFC. Go ahead and put our silk touch pick here. Howdy, y'all. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Merry Christmas to you. Look at this. I've got this note with TFC's name on it that I drew from the Secret Santa list, but unfortunately, I can't bring him his present right yet because he is online right now. Now, I don't know if you know a lot about Tinfoil Chef, but when he is online, that is a bad time to sneak into his base. So, I've been thinking about what to get him, and a lot of you guys said that TFC is trying to work on more modern houses and modern structures, and that kind of got me thinking, you know, concrete is used in a lot of modern structures, and this wall here, when I was originally constructing it, I didn't do the mathematics quite correctly. My arithmetic was a little bit incorrect, and so this wall that's supposed to go all around the perimeter of the castle is supposed to be the same height as this part of the castle, so that way the guard people can walk from the outer part around the mansion here. You know, just like straight across that walkway. But as you can tell, this wall is too tall. It's 2 blocks too tall all around. You can see it, y'all. So, what I'm thinking is, I'll come through here, and I'll recover a bunch of this concrete, and then I will have plenty of concrete to give TFC for his, like, fancy, modern houses. Whoa. That's probably a bad place to have a fall to my death. So what I'm going to do right here, real quick, is to get this kind of cleaned up a bit. And I'm also going to talk a little bit today about an idea I had for a Christmas Doctor Who story. Because I like talking about Doctor Who and science fiction and my story ideas. And this is not necessarily anything that's ever going to be on the BBC. Because, for one thing, I'm not British. And I don't know if they hire non-British writers. But also, I don't know if I'm qualified to be a, Doctor Who writer. Hint, I am not. But anyway, I was thinking about it, and it's that time of year where, everybody starts thinking about Christmas and the holidays, and I was thinking about how after Christmas, in the story of the Nativity, Jesus and Joseph and Mary all had to flee into Egypt to escape King Herod, because the king was upset about the idea of this kind of like baby or whatever being some sort of new king. There's some sort of big prophecy, and everybody gets excited about prophecies except for the people in power, because like if you're in charge of something and everybody's like, hey, there's a prophecy that says you won't be in charge soon, people are like, nope, we need to shut that down right now. We don't have any tolerance for that kind of talk around here. And so King Herod basically says, okay, I'm going to shut down all this crazy prophecy talk by finding this baby and, killing him. So you've got this situation where this guy who has a ton of power is hunting down all these, like, families, because he doesn't know which one is, like, the one in the prophecy, in the same way, like in the traditional Christmas story of the Matrix, that Morpheus doesn't know who he doesn't know for sure that Neo's the one. He hopes Neo's the one, but he's been wrong like 50 times already, and a lot of those people died. I'm just kidding. All of those people died. And so, you got this whole opportunity here to, like, tell a story about a time that nowadays we're like, oh yeah, Christmas is the best time of the year. But back then, if you were, like, people are like, oh, I love Christmas when I have it, because I got a little kid and my kid loves Christmas. But back then it'd be like, no, like, this was the most terrifying time of year ever because King Herod had all the young families, like, hunted down and possibly killed. So, it seems like there's a really good opportunity to tell a Doctor Who story about the Doctor encountering some of these families as they are being hunted by King Herod or the other people who are in league with him. Now, famously, in the Nativity story, the Holy Family, if you will, which is the fancy name for Jesus' family, it's not the fancy name. Like, it's funny because that's like, they're supposed to be super humble and everything, but, it's like, oh, one of them's a carpenter, and the other one, I think Mary was unemployed. Like, they never explicitly say, like, if she had a job. But it's like, other people are like the Jones family. But these guys, no, they're the Holy Family. And it's a lot harder to keep up with the Holy Family than the Joneses, as King Herod would learn. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, what if you had the Doctor, like, stumble into, like, an Egyptian border town right around this time period when everything is going nuts and there's people that need his help? Because, like, a lot of Doctor Who episodes are structured around the Doctor not being where he's supposed to be and people needing his help. So I thought, like, who would be a good partner for this, or companion? Like, because in some episodes they have, like, a running companion, but I was thinking for the Christmas special, they usually have, like, kind of a one-off historical figure or somebody they made up. So I was looking, and there's actually some famous Greek astronomers or physicists that might be a good kind of fit for this. Because I was thinking, like, what if the concept is that the Doctor was at, like, a Poseidon's solstice party in Greece, right? So in Greek, or not in Greek, in Greece, they would traditionally celebrate the solstice as a feast day of Poseidon, the god of the sea. Whereas, like, nowadays we celebrate the solstice as a holy day of Jesus, the god of everybody. Yay. So then it's kind of like you would have, like, the Doctor's at this party with this Greek physicist or whatever, and says, like, oh, you think you know how to throw a solstice party? Well, you should see how the Romans do it. And he tries to take him to a Saturnalia party, and the TARDIS misfires and dumps them onto, like, the Egyptian-Israeli border around the time of the first Christmas. And, I was thinking, like, because they've only shown the Doctor drunk once, and I think he was kind of pretending to be drunk. Now, it's a kid's show, so you don't want to go too nuts with it, but, having him being a little goofy when he first stumbles out of the TARDIS with this Greek physicist could be fun. And let's see. Let's go ahead and eat some of this bread so we don't starve ourselves to death. So what I was thinking was having the core concept be that, let's see, having the core concept be that, like, they stumble, like, out of the TARDIS in, like, what seems like a traditional alleyway scene, because there are certain times when the TARDIS lands and it's, like, in an alley or something, but it's nighttime and there's, like, clay building behind them or whatever, and the Greek physicist says something along the lines of, like, like, looking up at the sky, like, are you sure that this is the solstice? Because these stars seem a little bit strange, even for even for Rome. Like, I think that this might be January or February or something. And the Doctor's looking up at the stars too, and then they both kind of fall off a roof through an awning onto, like, two people, and those people have, like, spears, and were, like, threatening a man and a woman with a donkey and a baby, and the doctor, starts apologizing, and you kind of have something where like the doctor looks at the spears, or one of the spears that's been knocked over, and it's got some sort of weird glowing alien tech or whatever, and so he can use his sonic screwdriver, because it's not a Doctor Who special if you don't use a sonic screwdriver at least once, but he could use a sonic screwdriver to like detach the spearhead from the spear and be like, oh, this is interesting, and then kind of like try to tap two of the spearheads together, and they like magnetically repel each other. Like, this isn't like from anything in terms of Doctor Who lore. There's not like a specific repellent spearhead that I could think of, but like I was thinking like, what would be like a low-level technology that the Egyptians would have that I could combine with an alien technology for the concept or the premise of this episode? And spearhead plus weird repellent magnetism kind of ended up being one of the kind of sweet spot technologies. So he's just like, oh, this is interesting. And he's looking up at the building they just fell off of, which is like only a 2-story building because it's a border town, in 2,000 years ago, but something along the lines of dang it, like, oh wow, it's gonna be a little bit of a climb back up there, and whoa, speaking of which, that's a little bit of a drop down there, having some sort of element where he's just like him and the philosopher are looking up, or philosopher, physicist, astronomer, I don't know. I'm working a lot of this out kind of as I talk about it, but having the idea being that they realize that they're going to have to climb back up to get back in the TARDIS, and where was I? Climbing up here too. So the Doctor has some sort of like ribbon or something he pulls out of his pocket, and he's just like, hold just a second, excuse me, and he like touches the ribbon to his wrist and then wraps the other end of it around one of the guards, and then like completely sober now. And he's just like, that's some sort of hemato transfer ribbon or something. It's provided for designated drivers on I don't know. I'm trying to think of the name of a planet that I could make up. Yavin 4 I think is taken, so I don't want to use Yavin 4. But he might say like Laconix 7 or Hermitcraftia 8. I don't know. But because I don't know, it just seems like there's a good opportunity to have the episode start with the Doctor being really extra goofy, and then have him be less goofy, and then have the guards be left lying there drunk instead of being like, just concussed. Because, I mean, you can concuss somebody pretty good, but the problem is that when they wake up, it's going to look like you concussed them really well. And if you're trying to avoid, like, arousing the suspicion of guards, you should probably not concuss people visibly. You should find a way to make it look like they concussed themselves in some sort of drunken foolishness. So, just some thoughts on that real quick. But yeah, that's also not like a device I've seen in another episode of Doctor Who. That's just something I thought like would fit the Doctor Who theme of like, well, we've accidentally already knocked these guys out, so we might as well make it look like it's their fault, Doctor's not really big on killing lots of people. But man, for a character who's not big on killing lots of people, like, side note, he kills like a lot of people. You know what? If I have to climb back up here, I don't remember exactly where the ladder was. But we can worry about that in a bit. So I think I'm going to go ahead and knock out more of these blocks. But yeah, so I was thinking like the man and the woman could like ask the Doctor to escort them through town, like pretending to be a merchant or something because of his clothes. And then he would, of course, he'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll help you. I'm very curious about blah, blah, blah anyway. But then, of course, as soon as they ran into the next group of guards, the Doctor would immediately, like, try to get introduced to their leader and get everybody thrown in jail because he wants to learn more about the weird technology in the spearheads. But anyway, like, yeah, eventually I was thinking maybe the Doctor could do something to reverse the polarity on whatever's powering the spearheads, and then, I don't know, have all the spearheads fly toward whatever generator is, doing that. And then something. I don't know. This is a very loose idea for a Doctor Who episode. This is what happens when I plan to make a video about giving TFC gifts, and he's online at the time. So if you guys are enjoying this, you can feel free to thank TFC for being online. Although realistically, if I am going to give him concrete powder as his primary gift, I wouldn't have actually collected it yet. So maybe this episode would have been weird regardless. But anyway, there's a lot of gaps to fill in there, but I think that it has the bones for a strong Doctor Who Christmas special. You know, it checks a lot of boxes, you know. You get to imply that the family that he helps might be Jesus's, or that one of the many families he helps, because the jail that they get thrown into could be like a holding pen, like a whole bunch of people. I don't know. Where was I? Oh yeah, I gotta dig around here to get more concrete powder. Excuse me. I think I'm gonna do a time skip right here so I can get some soda. I'm really worried I'm gonna fall because I don't have my hand on the mouse. There we go. Okay. Alright. So, doing well, Kuya. Thank you for asking. Yeah, the Albatross films. I'm summarizing an idea I had for a Doctor Who Christmas special. It's very silly. So we're just going to keep running through here. Hello, ESS. Whoops. Oh, this is going to be weird around here. Oh, I'm going to have to wipe out this entire roof, aren't I? Okay. Why am I breaking the beautiful wall? Because it's 2 blocks too high. That's what we do when things are 2 blocks too high. We destroy them. But we also need concrete powder for TFC's gift. Albatross Film says, can you tell us what your favorite moment on the Hermitcraft server was? I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite moment. Like, I'm bad at favorites. If you ask me, like, what my favorite kind of pizza is, I'd be like, oh, I like 7 different kinds of pizza. I tend to like things. I don't know. I don't consider that a failing, but it's definitely something that makes it hard for me to answer certain classes of questions. And people, like, might assume that I'm trying to be difficult or, like, whatever, but, like, no, I just don't, I'm bad at favorites. Do I know Mumbo Jumbo? Yeah, we met at Minecon, and we've been playing on the same server for, like, years. Pick a memorable one. I might do the episode after this, actually, Albatross. I'm going to try and record 2 episodes today. I think maybe the episode after this we'll talk about 2017 in review in terms of Hermitcraft. So, actually, I'm going to answer your question probably in about half an hour. But it's a really good question. That's why I'm going to save it for its own episode. I'm not going to say hi to Cub Fan. He's been on the server for like an hour. It's not good to greet him when he's already been on the server for a while. It seems like I'm not paying attention. We are just chipping away at this wall, making plenty of progress. This is one of those tasks where I've had it in my queue forever. Like, I knew I needed to do this to make this work. Because, like, these linkages between the outer wall and the center of the castle are actually really important gameplay-wise. And it was going to look really problematic, and it was going to be a big problem. Also, this is letting me reclaim a ton of stone brick that I'm going to be able to use elsewhere in this project. So that's nice as well. I'm not being especially careful about retrieving every single block, but, you know, on the whole, I'm just, as long as I get down there every few minutes to pick things up, we should be pretty okay. I'm pretty happy to take care of this. So, let's go ahead. I'm trying to think if I have any other terrible ideas. Well, if you were going to do, like, a Doctor Who special about, like, another holiday, like, I don't know what you would do. Like, because they've done, like, an Easter special, in quotation marks, before, where, like, he was just eating a chocolate egg at the beginning of the episode, and that's the only way they recognized it was Easter. But they still went out of their way to do that, because they were like, well, we can't have a new Doctor Who come out on Easter and then not, you know, recognize it's Easter. But I don't know if they've really done any, like, Halloween episodes, because the show is always, kind of weird like that. Also, just as a quick side note, I asked my wife when we were driving to this this Christmas event, I was like, hey, do you want to hear my idea for a Doctor Who episode? And she immediately changed the subject. And then Corrinne is just like, I want to hear it. And I was like, okay, good. So here's what I'm thinking, Corrinne. And then she goes, wait, is Doctor Who the show that's too scary for me all the time? And I'm like, it's not too scary for you all the time. And she's like, no, it's the scary show. It has monster. And she starts asking me all these questions to try to figure out if she's thinking of the same show as me. And then eventually she's like, oh, okay, I don't want to hear this. It's like, so you guys get to. Yay. This is my life. You guys fill the void that family never can. Because they have the... Well, that's actually the thing, is it's funny, because, like, if somebody tells me I don't want to hear this, I'm going to be like, okay, well, I'm not going to talk about it then. But you guys don't actually get to stop me personally. You just pause the video and leave, which is better, because I still get to talk, and I still get to feel good about telling my story, even though maybe the analytics on this video are going to show that everybody cashed out already. Is it cashed out or checked out? I think it's checked out. At, like, the grocery. Okay. So let's go ahead and hop down here and grab some of this stuff. Whoops, Ender Pearl. Grab ourselves a few more stacks of blocklings. Filling up our inventory. I think there's a way through here that I can... Yeah. Wow. Do I have more blocks over on this side, too? No, that was all of them. Okay, so we're going to actually make ourselves a quick exit here as well. I still need to work on this stable too, apparently. I keep forgetting about that. Or it's more of a carriage house, and I think it's supposed to be larger than that. That looks too small to be a carriage house, although that might just be because in Minecraft the carriage would have to be huge. But we can scale the whole project up. Also, if you were wondering, this whole castle is a model of Tracy and Laura Hickman's Castle Ravenloft from the i6 Ravenloft module of Dungeons & Dragons. One of the most famous D&D castles ever. So, forgot to mention that at the beginning of the episode. It doesn't have to be a perfect model, but like things like having the wall higher than the interior eye level of the castle really kind of changes the visitor's perspective of what the how the mansion functions. Like, the mansion of the castle is supposed to be elevated above the wall. And having it below the wall there was just kind of a little sad, I felt. Do I have a ladder in here? No, of course not. That would be smart and convenient. Okay, quick question from the chat. Have I met Dave Ramsey or other country or famous country music singers living in Nashville? I have not met Dave Ramsey. Although I've met a lot of people who have worked for him, who are developers, and every single one of them say that it's like the worst place to be a programmer in Nashville because he's so cheap and doesn't understand like the actual, like, basically he doesn't want to pay people what they're worth because he's like, well, we're on a mission from God, and so, you know, you should just do it and be happy that you're helping. And so they end up having a lot of really incompetent people working there because good programmers go somewhere else where they get paid enough. So let's see. In terms of country singers, not really many country singers. I did bump into Ben Folds when I was voting once. We used to be in the same voting precinct. He's a famous piano player. So, let's see. I'm gonna hop up here. Is Momo Jumbo on right now? Nope, just TFC, Zombie Cleo, and Cub Fan and Joe Hills Says. How far are we into this recording? 23 minutes. Well, I'd like to recover light gray concrete powder all around here if I can. How much further do I have to go? Not very much. Excuse me. Okay, so we're going to eat this real quick. So in the interest of time right now, we're just going to focus on getting the, that's a bad way to frame that. So in the interest of getting TFC his present before Christmas, I think I'm just going to prioritize reclaiming the concrete powder right now above properly, like, removing all of the stone brick and getting the wall perfect. Because getting the wall perfect is nice, but getting the present materials is nicer. So, let's go ahead and just kind of run through here and grab all the sand we can. Ooh, we will actually need a walkway for that. Oh, that's not... Wow. Lots of poorly placed blocks there. Okay. Good job, Joe Hills. Good job. Place yourself a lot of extra stone bricks until your heart rebels. Everybody loves the chime of jingle bells. Okay, so we're going to go down this side first, grab any concrete powder that might have fallen. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, Joe, if you're just trying to get this concrete powder, wouldn't it be faster to use a torch at the bottom of this wall? Well, I don't want to actually remove the wall, keep in mind. I'm just trying to give it a little bit of a shave. You know, just kind of lower it a little bit. Can I ender pearl over that? I have a feeling the answer is no. So we're going to climb back up this ladder and then go the rest of the way. Also, I'm not sure that I need this while we're tidying. I say tidying exceptionally loosely in this context. But, yeah. We're going to go up here and swing down the other side. Grab whatever concrete powder is left. And then I think it'll be time to head to TFC's base, even if he's online right now. Although we do need to figure out, like, what else we are going to get him. Because just giving him some concrete powder is okay. But it's not like, I don't know, it's not an amazing gift completely by itself. Like, we at least need to have a box and a note, maybe? So let's think about that for a second. I'm going to have to use a traditional chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Did I have any extra concrete powder besides this? Let's quickly check that. Sand and concrete. 2 blue wool. Snowball. Okay, no. Doesn't seem to be the case. Greetings, Thomas Schmiller. Okay. Yeah, Elric, it's a very frustrating place to work. I've talked to probably a dozen people in the last... I've been in Nashville a long time, so it's not like I've run into somebody every day who works there and is really mad or is leaving, but like, in the last 10 years, I have met 12 different people who all said the exact same thing, and I don't think it's getting better. So let's see, what are we doing? This seems kind of like a lame gift, though. Do we have anything else that would be good for modern houses? Like, I don't know that we do. I've got maybe some quartz. Let's go check on the... Dang it, I should have dropped off these extra stone bricks. That's going to be a whole thing. Okay. Well, we are going to need to make a chest. Okay. Oh, we got chests. Quartz and stone. Yep. Quartz would be good to have. Okay. I'm worried that people are going to think this is a really lame gift. I don't know. Bone blocks, maybe? I don't think bone is an especially modern. Got some white concrete here. Block of iron, magenta concrete powder. Welcome, Yonaman. Glad to have you. Well, let's go ahead and run through our portal. What if I encase the GIF in a modern sports car? I don't know if I could build a modern sports car completely on the fly. That sounds like too much. Oh, thank you for the host, Lori. Okay. Whoops. I think a lot of quartz might be nice. Everybody likes quartz. Okay. You know what I should have brought is signs. I'm gonna need some signs for the box. Let's go get. Okay. I think we're gonna go ahead and stop the recording here and switch to face cam mode. So that way I can save some hard drive space. We need signs. Did I not? Not gonna bring these ladders. Let's go ahead. I think I can make signs with 2 dark oak. That's probably enough. Because then I'll make, yeah, 1 set of sticks. And then there. Oh, welcome, Sides. Glad to have you. I put some quartz away. Whoops. Well, I think this is, it's a good start. Okay. Dang it, you know what? I forgot to bring us a boat. Dang it. Oh, man. Of course, I've got nothing here to make a boat with. I don't want to run all the way back, but I guess I have to. Yeah, I don't have... There a boat in here? No, of course not. Boat. Good deal. So we're gonna... Because one of the problems is to get to TFC's base is actually really confusing in the nether. So we gotta take a boat in the overworld. Although... Jevon's base had some sort of connector. Jevon's base is toward his base. So maybe I can find a... Maybe I can find something. Should I set up a recording? Whoa. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna start the recording again. Well, we are in the nether and ready to go. Oh, there is a ghast there. So here's what I'm thinking on that. If I go a little bit this way, maybe, and then punch out the wall, I might be able to not... Oh, that's going to put me next to that portal. Dang it. Can I punch out somewhere in between here and not have this go incredibly poorly? Oh, dang it, there's specialty blocks all along the outside. Well, I really don't want that gas to ruin this big fancy thing we have here. Mumbo joined the game. Yay. Oh. Let's go ahead and get some ender pearls. And maybe we can ender pearl, like, sequentially... Whoops. Okay, I'm already breaking stuff. Can I got him. Okay, cool, cool, cool. We did it, guys. Everybody's happy, including me. But now what we gotta do is we gotta find Jevon's portal. Because Jevon's portal is gonna be the nearest one to TFC's base, as far as I can tell. Okay, that's... Oh, we actually landed somewhere roughly correctly. So that one goes to Wells Knot. This one goes to Impulse and Gold Farm. Let's go ahead and try over here. Scar. Dang it. None of these actually take me to Jevon's. Well... So, the best thing to do is probably just to go through Wells Knight's portal. And then take the boat the rest of the way then. That's just going to have to be how we roll with this. Whoa, fancy Wells Knight tunnel. Look at this. This guy does not pull his punches. It's like fancy stonework, fancy glasswork. Whoa. Let's go on through. Now it's just a quick 4-hour boat ride this way. Let's hold down the W button. Time skip. Hope everybody's doing well in the chat today. Long distance boat ride ahead of us. Smashing straight into that island if I'm not careful. Probably don't actually want to smash straight into that island. Just bypass it a little bit to the right. Nice, easy glide. Simple, gentle movements make good time-lapse videos. Whereas like crazy, wild, staggered button mashing, bad time-lapse videos. So I'll cut my words out from this video and then put like a theme song over it or something. It's always convenient. Whoa, squids. Too many of you. Hey, welcome Sleeping Bug 2020. Welcome Becky Wayne. Hope you guys are doing well. We are in between segments of the video, but I'm not going to turn the face cam on because I'm still recording this for time-lapse purposes. What are my thoughts on Eminem's new album? I didn't know Eminem had a new album. I'm going to Tinfoil Chef's base to deliver a Christmas present. I don't really listen to Eminem's music. In fact, I don't listen to much music at all. I'm one of those people where it's like, at this age, I'm too tired to find new music. I get in the car and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna put on Vitamin C's Friends Forever, and I'm just gonna drive. Just don't introduce me to new songs and stuff. It's too much, man. Okay, I think we're getting nearby. I really hope I headed the right direction. I didn't check that at all. Probably should have checked it. Am I going too far to the right? Ah, here it is. And here we are. We have arrived safely at Tinfoil Chef's base. Now, the thing is, this is a little bit of a stealth mission in that, you know, it's Christmas time. So we don't want, like Santa doesn't just show up at your house and go, Joe, I've got your Christmas stuff here. He, like, sneaks in the chimney with ender pearls at night. So what we need to do is we need to determine where Tinfoil Chef actually is. Oh, I probably should have used an invisibility potion. But you know what? Hopefully, if Tinfoil Chef is... I should have checked if he was streaming right now. And then if he was streaming, I'd know where he was. But, you know what? That's okay. We're just going to sneak right in here. I don't think I need to crouch. If I can't see his name tag, he can't see mine. Unless he's got, like, really good Optifine and I have a terrible one. Which is also possible. Okay. Here we go. Shipping and receiving. Don't call attention to me, doggies. Last thing I need is attention right now. Merry Christmas. Whoops. Well, I can't spell. Merry Christmas. Tinfoil Chef. Here's some materials. Here's some supplies for your next modern build. And we're going to go ahead and put these. I didn't really think exactly, like, I didn't plan to do a specific pattern, but I think I have enough light gray concrete powder here. Ooh, well, probably don't want to... that's going to look weird if it's not a full stack, but at least I'll split into a half stack, I guess. And then I'll go ahead and put the nether quartz kind of around here. See how that goes. Maybe like antlers or something. Oh, I'm going to have an odd number of those too. I might split those up like that, so it kind of makes like a reindeer. That's kind of a reindeer. Yep, there we go. Merry Christmas, Tinfoil Chef. Here's some supplies for your next modern build. Oh. Probably should say from at Joe Hills. Done. Light it up. Okay. Well, we have successfully snuck in here. Oh no, it's about to get dark. So what we need to do is he's got a portal that we can exit through. I found it last time I was here, under the ground. No idea how to get back to it from above ground, or from the actual nether, which is why I had to take the boat here. Oh, I think it takes me somewhere dangerous. And like out by Asuma's house, maybe? Yeah, it's this weird tunnel thing. Okay. Well, either way, we have been able to put... Oh yeah, I'm just going to be lost forever. This is a good plan. Good plan. Okay, well, we'll find our way home in another episode. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. And Merry Christmas, Tinfoil Chef. Stop recording. Face cam back on. Alrighty. Isn't Secret Santa meant to be a secret to who it's from? Oh, is it? I don't know. Okay. Cool. So now we have to find our way back. I think that there might be a tunnel. Yeah, it connects to this tunnel. I don't even know whose this tunnel is. Should probably find out in case I need to come back here again later. And everyone breathed an audible sigh of relief. Yep, it's a good tunnel. TFC isn't streaming, he may be recording though, according to JJ1035. Gotcha. Well, I just didn't want him to see me there. Okay, so this is through Asuma's place. So, how do I get back out of here now? Spider farm. I don't think I'm supposed to go past the spider farm. I came out of one of those. That one might be it. I think this is the way back. Yeah, this looks right. I'm not sure that this is the most effective way to get out of there. I'm gonna just jump up here on my own. It might be easier. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, this is the way back to the main hub now. I'm in good shape. And there's no gas in here this time. Perfect. So... No! I forgot to... Okay, we gotta record a finale. Actually. I actually screwed up the closing of that last episode. I almost forgot. So start recording. Well, we made it back safely through the nether. I probably should put that fire out up there. I think that was our fault from that gas earlier. You know, well, that's how it's gonna be. We're gonna, like... Okay. You know, I say I should do something. I'm gonna do it. Boom. Got it done. Excellent. Well, we got a lot done today. We worked on our fence, we brought TFC some materials he can use to hopefully build something good, but we have one last thing to do, and that is to thank my Patreon sponsor, Mother Yackle, for her $50 monthly donation. You notice there are no mid-roll ads on this video. That's because instead, we are going to read a poem that I wrote that has never been performed publicly before. So, here we go. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. You know what, actually, that's too small for me to read. And we're going to put it on a different place so I can read it better. Okay. Let's change our viewpoint real quick. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. It's like Vegas on your phone. Dealers punching holes in songs, discarding them in no order, wary, ever vigilant for a group that tries to work together, evenly rejected as all bums. Have a free drink alone, and another, and a buffet. We have a winner, now regress toward the mean. Trees used to mean something in this country. I don't know what they meant, so I stayed quiet. And when hemp won us the war, threaded into lines woven into cargo nets, I didn't know which war or what we won. And I screwed up the last line. Okay, we're going to try this again. Okay. You know, can we stop? You know what? I actually just came up with a better way to close this. So, in fact, I'm going to change the last lines because I wrote this so I can make the... Okay. I can make the poem better if I want to. This is a really low contrast area, actually. I don't like the visuals. Sorry. We're going to go into here. Maybe my next poem, hold the book and record in F5. Well, I don't keep the poem... Like, the poems are written not in Minecraft books. They're written, like, in other systems. So let's go ahead up here. I don't like that. This is better. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. It's like Vegas on your phone. Dealers punching holes in songs, discarding them in no order. Wary, ever vigilant for a group that tries to work together. Evenly rejected as all bums. Have a free drink alone, and another, and a buffet. We have a winner, now regress toward the mean. Trees used to mean something in this country, and I didn't know what they meant, so I stayed quiet. And when hemp won us the war, threaded into lines woven into cargo nets, I didn't know which war or what we won. Are we winners yet? Can we stop? Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Okay, so that was final part of that episode. So now we have 3 pieces of that episode that are going to need to be pulled over to the other machine. Oh boy. Hey, we got a $30 donation from Eagle Fam. Sorry, Eagle, I was in recording mode and didn't catch that. So we are up to... Let's go to add... We're up to 111 out of 40. So 10 more dollars and we'll have a third thing go out. Explain the poem? No, that's not what I do here. Okay. So, in a lot of ways, the obvious thing to do with the next episode is to just keep doing what we were doing. But yeah, thank you to Eagle Fam for that donation. The first of the 3 ad-free Hermit Skies videos in the hopper went live today. So, and we are 3/4 of the way toward having a 4th one soon. So that's good. Okay, so let's see where we want to go now. The point of poems is not to explain the poems. It's to give you something to think about, and you can think about it again when you see it in the video. Let's see here. Alrighty. We are gonna cut up this way. Okay. Okay, I need to get ready for the next video. So before that, let me take care of... I'm going to queue up the poem that we're going to do for the next video on the other screen. And we're going to answer Albatross's question. I think it was Albatross Films' question about things that we enjoyed this year. Yeah, the Albatross Films. So the next episode will be about that, my squithers. Yep. So let me pull up, do some setup stuff real quick. Okay. Whoops. Okay, Evernote. So we need to mark that that poem was read on for the Patreon patrons. I think we already read those. We've read that one. Read that one. Foam. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we've got some more now. Cool. Hey, Ozathoth, welcome. Okay, we are about to get started on our next Hermitcraft. Face cam off. Let's check on our hard drive real quick, too. Probably should have checked that first, but okay, 30 gigabytes free. We should be alright. Cool. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And as 2017 draws to a close, some people like to go, Joe, what is it about this year that you enjoyed the most? You know, it's been a year full of ups and downs, a year of creation, a year of destruction, but sometimes it's time for contemplation and reflection. So I'm going to think a little bit about what I enjoyed most out of 2017. One of the things I enjoyed most out of 2017 was making these squithers. This was one of the dumbest things I've come up with in all of my Minecraft time. But you know what? I'm pretty happy with them. Also have, really enjoyed working on my Castle Ravenloft model. But, it's not just like, what have I built or what have I learned that's exciting about 2017. It's like, what have I got to do that I hadn't before, And I think 2017 was a really interesting year, like in terms of getting to see the solar eclipse. I think that was one of the coolest things for me, not only because I got to actually witness a solar eclipse with my own eyes, but also because I was able to do so many cool things related to it. Like, I was able to go to Washington, D.C. and visit the museum and meet the cool people from NASA. And on that same trip, I got to meet one of my Patreon patrons, Dane Leon, and he was a really cool guy. And then I saw him again at PAX Unplugged. And, thinking about it, every year that I go to any convention, especially the PAXs, I'm always like, this was such a cool time. I'm so lucky that I get to do this, and a lot of that, is that I have a job and I earn money, and so anybody can go to conventions and get something out of it and have fun, if you can afford the trip. It costs money to go to San Antonio. This year was my first trip to San Antonio, and I'm already planning a trip back there. That's actually my family's big Christmas present this year. Is I'm taking them to San Antonio for Pax South in a few weeks. My daughter's ecstatic, and I'm really super pumped about that trip. But, like, you know, it's great being able to go to these places and already have opportunity, or, like, because of the YouTube stuff I do, I get a chance to meet people who already kind of are familiar with my work, or, like, it's easier to just show up somewhere and run into people and be like, oh, hey, you know, I'm a big fan of you, and then have that. It's so neat when they're like, oh, I'm familiar with your stuff too. Like, I don't know. It's because of my YouTube stuff that I was fortunate to be invited to participate in Dice Camera Action and play in a D&D game run by Chris Perkins. That is like one of my highlights of my entire life, not just 2017. And I still haven't gone back and watched those because I am sure that I didn't do a very good job, or, like, I mean, maybe it was fine, but, like, it's just like I wish I, like, I like thought about doing a weird voice or something, or I put all this thought and planning into, like, how I wanted to play the character, and I kind of just, like, froze up. And the thing is, though, that's even if you don't do the best job that you think you could possibly do with every opportunity you're given, you know, the fact that I had that opportunity was just something I'm so grateful to Chris Perkins for. And, like, it's given me confidence. So, like, you know, next time something like that comes up, maybe not, you know, exactly the same thing, but, like, when next time something along those lines happens, I'm going to be, like, way more confident and ready for it. And, you know, that's a great thing to come out at the end of the year and be like, I did something that I thought I'd never have the chance to do, and I'm certain that if I do it again, I'll be even better at it. You know, like, it's a good feeling to be able to say, like, here's something where I learned something about myself and how I deal with certain types of artistic or creative situations, and I'm growing, you know, like, because it's easy to look at something like this with the Minecraft thing and be like, okay, you know, I've been playing Minecraft on Hermitcraft for 5 years now. This was the 5-year anniversary of Hermitcraft, but it was also the 5-year anniversary of me playing on here. I've joined Hermitcraft a few weeks into the server going live, and so it's easy to look at yourself and say, like, what am I doing? How am I avoiding stagnation? And, you know, part of that is, you know, with this new server, I've been trying to experiment with different sorts of geometric transformations in my builds, like having these rotated things with the letters on them. That was an interesting challenge. Trying to adapt other people's architectural concepts, like the Death House, Castle Ravenloft. You know, like, I feel like I'm pushing myself in ways to develop my brain, and I'm lucky to have that opportunity. That's one of the things that I've had this year, and I really, a lot of that comes down to the support of my wife too, and you know, the fact that she was willing to go out on a limb and help me to, or, you know, encourage me to rent the studio space, and the fact that we have broken even several months out of the year on the studio space, based on Patreon and YouTube revenue, is just, like, absolute. I'm gonna cut that burp. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, I'm really grateful to my wife, especially for giving me the opportunity to, I'm really grateful to my wife, especially for encouraging me to rent the studio once, because I used to be paying like $550 or $570 a month on one of my educational debt loans, and so once we paid that off, you know, I said, like, well, you know, what's the best way we can spend this money? I'm thinking that maybe if I spent about $600 a month on a studio space, you know, we could earn some of that back, and, you know, it'd be out of your hair and, you know, not be in your way when you're studying and stuff. And, you know, so many of you guys have stepped up, you know, just by watching the videos, but also especially our Patreon sponsors and people who have donated directly via PayPal. Like, I cannot thank all of you guys enough, because, like, if I didn't have this studio, I wouldn't have been able to do that Dungeons & Dragons thing. I wouldn't have 128 episodes on this new server. Like, I mean, technically, you know, I got the studio last November, but what I've been able to do with it, I've accomplished so much of this year, that I'm happy, like, and appreciative. Like, I don't know, there's probably other synonyms, joyful, grateful, but I mean, it's one of those things where you guys are helping me to do something I want to do, and because I was able to get the studio in the first place because I have a solid day job that I work really hard at, but I was able to justify keeping it. Like, it's one thing for me to say, hey, I think we should spend this $600 a month we were spending on educational debt on a studio. And, my wife, like I said, she was like, well, we'll see how much of that you make back. And the fact that you guys have been supporting me all this time has, and we've broken even several of the months, like, it's really a good thing. It's really encouraging for me. And I want to do right by you guys. I want to keep doing new stuff, even if, like, it might seem like, okay, well, what are you doing this episode? You're working on a wall. Yeah, I'm working on a wall, but, like, that's how this all gets done, is you do a little bit here and a little bit there, and just, like, castles are made of walls. Like, all of these things that you do in your life are these little simple walls, and some of it's drudge work, like, a lot of the stuff I do at my day job with computers is really stressful or tiring, but it's one of those things where, like, I want to make a better life for myself and for my family. I want to support my wife through grad school and help my daughter have opportunities, and so I do that work. And I also do this work because I feel like this is the sort of thing that actually helps me grow as a person. It doesn't just help me not starve. Like, there's a subtle difference, and I want to encourage you guys this year and next year and every year, like, try to make sure that you are not starving first, but also try to make sure that you're growing, and thank you guys so much for giving me opportunities to grow. Like, I've had so much fun, too, like, running D&D games for my Patreon patrons, because, like, I've Dungeon Mastered Pitfalls and Penguins games before, but that's kind of different because, like, I've wrote part of Pitfalls and Penguins. Like, me and my friends, like, we were very, like, I know that system really well. I laid out the book. I read basically every word of that book in the process of laying it out. So to, like, get in and do some 5th edition D&D dungeon mastering was just so great. And, it's so great that so many of my Patreon patrons were able to make time to put up with me learning to DM 5th edition. Like, you guys are just great. I cannot say enough nice things about y'all. And, I hope that you guys look for opportunities to grow. I think I already said that. I'm going to be repeating myself a lot because I'm excited about the things I'm happy about, and it makes it hard for me to keep track of, like, it's like I'm so happy about things that I can't remember which ones I already said I was happy about. But yeah, let's see. I mean, what else has happened in 2017 that was good? Because, like, it's so, I could make a whole list of things that happened in 2017 that were not great, but I'm sure you guys could just, like, read Politico for that. You don't need me. I don't know. It's okay for a year that has a lot of bad things to also have good things. In fact, I would say we need to prioritize making good things happen regardless of how many bad things there are. So, that's just something good. Like, I mean, I know Taylor Swift got a lot of criticism on Twitter for saying 2017 was a great year for her. And, it's like, well, I know it wasn't a great year for a lot of people. But, I mean, like, I'm not going to sit here and list every bad thing that happened to me personally, because that's even dumber. Like, if I was just like, guys, you think 2017 was bad for you, let me tell you all the things that were bad for me. No, I'm just going to focus on what was good, and, I don't know, I'm a happy person. Well, I don't know if that's true. Am I a happy person? Like, I mean, I'm happy, but like, you know, when somebody's like refers to themselves as a happy person, that kind of implies that they're like always happy regardless of what's going on around them. And I'm not. I get upset by a lot of things really easily, but I'm happy right now because I'm thinking about a lot of good things. I don't know. It's hard to... questions of identity are always so difficult like that. Like, if somebody asks you, like, are you a good person? Like, or if somebody asked me that, I'd be like, well, I try to be, but, you know, am I a happy person? I try to be. Some days I do better, some days I do worse. Am I a productive person? That I have to be, because if I don't, then my family will starve. But, you know, things like... It's funny, being a productive person is a must, being a happy person is a nice to have. But I think it's... You gotta put attention to both things, you know. And I don't have a lot of constructive tips for doing that. That's not really the purpose of this episode. I'm not sure that this episode has a special purpose. It's just, I don't know. One of my commenters on YouTube, Albatross Films, was like, Joe, what was your favorite part of 2017 on Hermitcraft? And it's like, I don't know, man. You know, I really like doing Mumbo's Maze, just as a side note. That was fun. Like, what else? Like, I'm bad at having favorites, because, like, I don't really rank things that make me happy. I just enjoy them. It seems counterintuitive to some people, I guess, but it's more time effective. And once again, when being productive is so important, you can't, like, it's not, like, I can't sit here and go, was I happier the time I did Mumbo's Maze, or was I happier the first time I saw Scar's Cool Tree? Because you know what? I love Scar's Cool Tree. But you know what? I think if I had to, I would say that I liked the time I spent talking to Scar and Wells about Star Trek while we were digging out the pit more than that was more emotionally fulfilling to me, to just hang out with my friends and chat while we dug out a pit, than it was to see the tree for the first time. Like, the tree was more impressive, but this server's about hanging out and doing stuff. You know, when you think Hermit, you think social, connected to others, you know, and celebrating that social connectedness, I think, is really valuable. But I would say, in terms of video games, I was looking back at 2017, because the Steam sale just went up, and I am not being paid to endorse any of these games that I'm going to mention. And I paid full price for them, or I got them on like a Steam sale discount, not like special rate because I'm a YouTuber. But one game that I played that I never streamed was called The Witness, and it's a puzzle game by Jonathan Blow. I really liked the beginning of it. Like, the end of the game is weird, because at the beginning of the game, it's all open-ended, so you can just wander around this island and do any puzzle you like. But at the end of the game, it's like, okay, well, now there's one set of final puzzles. I was like, oh, I don't like this, because if I can't solve the puzzle, I can't just wander off. And so I ended up wandering off and never actually beat the game. But the first, 30 hours of the game was awesome. Maybe not 30 hours. I don't know how long I played, but I really liked the island itself and all the puzzles around the island. I just didn't like the end game. So that's one to check out if you like puzzles. And if you're more patient than me, the end game might not bother you. If you are kind of a story fan, then I got a lot out of Night in the Woods by Scott Benson's crowd. Ooh, that was a bad interpearl. Isuma is interrupting my recording session. My recording sessions don't acknowledge chat. But anyway, Isuma is raiding my Twitch stream right now. So, yeah, I guess I have to say something now. Okay. No, howdy, Isuma Raiders. I'm not going to keep this in my YouTube video. I'm going to have to cut this segment now. But, yeah. So anyway, Raiders, basically, well, my viewers doubled. Apparently it doubled in Twitch. I mean, I've actually got most people on Mixer and YouTube watching me, because I triple stream to YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer. But anyway, so welcome, Isuma streamers. I am just doing a year-end review video. The way I structure my stream is, here, I'll hit stop recording real quick. So when I'm recording, I turn off the face cam and just like make my YouTube video, and people get to watch the behind the scenes of how all that works. And then when I do the YouTube, I turn the face cam off to record for YouTube, and I turn the face cam on to acknowledge the chat. And so Isuma raided me in the middle of one of the segments where I wasn't acknowledging the chat. But you guys are so powerful that I turned off my recording in order to talk to you. So you win. Yay. But yeah, we are working on a scale model of Castle Ravenloft from the i6 D&D module by Tracy and Laura Hickman. Let me see if I can climb up a ladder somewhere so you can see the castle better. Well, actually, let's just ender portal up here. So, yeah, it's a pretty complicated build. That's going to shoot me over the roof, isn't it? Dang it. Too far. Dang it. Yep. It's a pretty complicated build. This is one of the most famous castles in all of Dungeons and Dragons. And so what we are going to do here is, let me find a ladder so I can climb up to the outer walls. The basic layout of the castle is the first 2 stories are like traditional castle-y, like functional areas, like where the count would do business. And then the upper story of the castle is like a mansion, and I was just doing some work on the walls, so they're not all torched up properly right now. And so basically the walls were 2 blocks too high, so I'm in the process of knocking a whole bunch of this down a bit. But anyway, then on the 3rd floor of the mansion is all like the living space, so it's more of a house on top of there. I had an elytra before, but I lost it in dying repeatedly. But yeah, so we got a huge tower with a massive heart on top of it. We've got basements upon basements that go way down here. I'm still roofing in some of this. But yeah, it's a pretty big build. This castle has like around 87 to 90 rooms. We got a wine cellar down here. Still need to do some work on. I'm not going to type /clear. I know better than that now. Let's see, this is the chapel here. What is the fastest way to get to where my ender pearls are, now that I'm out of ender pearls? And food, apparently. We are going to run this way. Am I planning on, or do I have an underground railway? I do not. Otto asks, do I think I'll finish the base before the end of Season 5? Hopefully. McLurky says, found the Ravenloft module in my old game and stuff. Such a nice map. Yeah, it's insane, the level of detail in the original. I'm also using notes from Chris Perkins's Curse of Strahd book, which is awesome. Yeah, so let's run in here. So, like, traditionally in Ravenloft, the party would enter through some big wooden doors here, and then there's smaller doors here. Like, so there's, like, decorative doors that are going to be massive wood, like 30 foot tall, right in here. That's not done yet. There's this foyer here, and this is still a work in progress. You got a dining room. Now, back behind the dining room, I have a secret passage where I am storing some stuff. Like, hopefully I should have some food in here before I die. Apparently not. I'm bad at planning. Yay. So, let's go ahead and grab... Wow, a single raw fish. That'll really go far. Well, regardless, it's fine. We got enough to get by. We'll get our health back anyway. So, if I just hop over here real quick. So we got the big dining room in here. We have a hallway full of armor with an arched roof. That is going to lead to the chapel, which is supposed to be full of broken benches and stuff. Then this roof isn't perfect, but it came out pretty okay. Now we got up these stairs here. We have a balcony where the king and his wife would sit during the church service. This is a great detail that the authors came up with, that like, oh yeah, these people are so important that they sit 50 feet up during church. That's crazy. But yeah. Let's see, this is a maintenance room. Let's see, over here we have like the actual throne room. I haven't done a lot of the decoration work because honestly, this is such a time-consuming build just to get the rough details on. Let's see, this connects to back here in that big tower that we were in. We can go up this way now. And let's see. So there's like another hall here. And then we get kind of into the living area. I still need to put in some of the stuff, like the bed isn't finished. There's the swimming pool, not the swimming pool, bathtub full of blood, because this is a vampire's castle. If that wasn't already clear, then it should be. I've got a bunch of cloaks and stuff hanging up in the closet here. Dining room with the rotten wedding cake. Where does this go? This leads to that same stairwell that's not really finished yet. You know what? Let's go down. Let's go down to the catacombs. How do I remember where everything is? I have studied this map exhaustively in order to work on this and make it good. Part of the whole point of this was to look at one of the most famous maps in D&D history and to understand it better so that I could make better things. So let's see, we got a spiral staircase down here that needs to be enclosed. We're now underneath the ground. But, what do I think of Wells's castle? It's pretty cool. Let's see. So this room's supposed to be a dining room full of bones. I haven't gotten to that yet too much. But if we go back down here, there's another... This is supposed to be a secret passage, but it's open right now. Elric of Almistris writes, this build is huge. How many hours do I also work, sleep, and make time for family? Usually I see my family between like 5:30 and 8:30 every day. And then my daughter goes to sleep and I edit video. I go to bed at around 10:30 or 11:30. And then I record usually on my lunch break. So, let's see. So here we are. This is the torture chamber, which is flooded. The king and queen have chairs so they can watch people being tortured too. I have a temporary stairwell here. There's a prison back down here that's supposed to be flooded. So the idea is that the prisoners have to stand on their beds to not drown, which is a really good plan if you want to make a prison. Like, if you know, it's really good for keeping morale up. Joe, you got a lot of armor stands and you can't even get yourself an iron chest plate. I've got a diamond chest plate. Let's see, where does this one go? No, I don't want to be in this stairwell. I want the middle stairwell. So this stairwell here leads to the crypts. So we will just head that way. King Style Toast says, I found a map of that castle a while back and was wondering if you were using one as a reference. I actually have one. Yeah, I should hold that up for you guys. Right here. Like, this is a gigantic castle. Let me switch the camera. Yeah, I mean, this is a map of the castle, and here's the other side of the map. Like, this thing is gigantic. So, yeah, welcome, Siev. I am building a gigantic castle, is what we're doing. Thanks. Okay. So, where were we? Back to Minecraft. So, anyway, the, back in the catacombs down here. What? Why is there a J at that? At the beginning of that? Dang it. Well, anyway, so these are the catacombs down here, and they are supposed to have a ceiling covered with bats, so I use like black wool for that and then diorite for the floor. I haven't finished the whole ceiling, but every single one of these has descriptive text in the castle, in the book. And so I've got signs with the names of the different people on them. A lot of these have really good puns. This one's blank. That one's blank. Some of them are supposed to be blank. But yeah, it's a pretty big place. But then if we come back out this way, yeah, well, if Iskall says, this diorite looks terrible, I'm gonna be like, well, it's supposed to be, bat feces, so it's doing its job. So let's see, we've got a blue curtain down here. This is supposed to represent a force field, because we actually use this castle for doing D&D games with my Patreon patrons. Like, we use this castle as the graph paper, and we play this. It's pretty cool. So let's see, this brings us back out here to the chapel, which we were in before. But if we keep going up this, it'll lead us up this crazy windy stairwell, and I think the ladder's faster, so we're going to take the ladder. We're in the high tower now, which is this stupidly tall tower, and it takes a while to climb, but we're going to do it. Frosty Flytrap asks on the YouTube chat, how do you play this with your Patreons? What I'll do is I'll live stream the what I'm seeing on my computer while I'm called into a Discord call with them, and then they will and then I've got like flags that mark where they're standing, and they explore the castle and play the game, and yeah, it's pretty good. It works out. So here we go. This is the top of the high tower, which I'm realizing I don't have a good way to get out of. I think I missed... I was supposed to have a way to get out of here, but the air shaft doesn't provide it. It's like... Was it around here that I had an exit? Let's just... Yeah. You know what, let's just put some light gray concrete powder in there for later. But it's crazy how dark it gets inside of there. But yeah, so now we're on the kind of bridge between the two towers. I'm really happy with how the roof came out. It looks a lot spookier at night. That's supposed to be a giant beaten heart that, like, the vampire uses to store damage he takes in. I still need to finish that roof. That's in progress. But if we come down this stairwell here, we've got, like, a few different rooms that are, like, where different stuff happens in the story. Element room. I think this is where, like, a bunch of witches make their stuff. Have I seen Critical Role? I have heard of it, but I haven't had the chance to watch it because I am unfortunately very busy. We got other kind of tower rooms in here. Don't have the formal roofs on them yet, but it's enough to play the game. You know, that sort of thing. Okay. How many hours have gone into this so far? Ooh, that's a good question. The answer is definitely a lot, but I don't know exactly how many. Probably hundreds. But, you know, the point is to learn to be better at, like, Dungeons & Dragons map design and understanding architecture and a lot of things. And I'm getting a lot out of it. Let's see. I don't think I've actually worked too much on this part. We got the bell tower here. I need to build an actual bell. And this is the treasure room with the secret treasure hoard. So, yep. Good stuff all. So yeah, this is what I've been working on. This castle has been keeping me pretty busy in terms of my Minecraft time. And we can come back out here and head back out to the outer walls. I can look at how long I've been in game by checking my statistics at the menu. Oh, really? Like on the server? Time since last death. Time played, 13 days. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah, so this is I took one of the biggest, most famous Dungeons and Dragons maps, and I created a model of it in Minecraft so I could understand more about how it was designed and how it's played. So it's been a really good opportunity to learn. I haven't actually gotten to meet the people who made the original map yet, Tracy and Laura Hickman, because they're out in Utah. But I did get to meet the guy who wrote the new Curse of Strahd book, Chris Perkins, and I actually got to play a game with him, actually a few games, as a guest NPC on his Dice Camera action show earlier this year, which was really fun. And, yeah. So, it's fun, just messing around. I do some amateur game design myself, and so this is I'm treating this as a hobbyist / educational project. Whoa. Turkinell writes that the Hickmans come to Comic-Con fairly often. Comic-Con here. Which Comic-Con? Here being Salt Lake City, yeah. So that's the thing, is I haven't actually been out to Utah. Dang it, I need to get back up there. I need to get food. That's going to be priority one, actually. Thank you for the host, Penguin1P. Delta says, why don't I have a skin? I have a skin, look. It's my shirt. Okay, so let's go get some food before we starve to death. Yeah, I was originally trying to get this build done to do a big Hermitcraft playthrough, but the thing is, actually playing through the map can take 5 to 8 hours, and no hermit can commit to that. So I've been working on a shortened version of the adventure, and anytime you start taking something this famous and shortening it, you gotta really be careful that you're not losing the heart of it. So, no, it's a Joe Hills with an at. Not a Steve with an at. But yeah, so I've been playtesting that a lot with my patrons, and I've gotten it set up where they could possibly win in as little as 4 hours without really losing. Well, it actually does lose a lot of the original adventure, but it's kind of works anyway. I don't know. I think really what's going to happen is we're going to have to get people to agree to do multiple 3-hour sessions, but scheduling anybody on YouTube is really hard. Everybody's super busy and doesn't like to settle. Like, when we record Hermit Quest, that's like a huge drain on everyone. Like, it takes forever to get that scheduled, and it's really stressful. We have a lot of fun actually playing, and we would have fun playing this too, but it's just difficult to get the initial stuff off the ground. Okay. Let's see. Welcome, Emmett. Glad to have you. So, where was I? So normally, yeah, like I said, when I'm streaming, I turn off the face cam when I do my YouTube recording parts. I leave the face cam on when I'm interacting with the chat, because I only have 45 minutes a day to record / stream, and I do that on my lunch break. And normally I only have 45 minutes a day to record and stream. Today was a half day at my office because of the work, or not because of the work, because of the holidays. So let's actually dump those extra seeds in the... Hello, Douglas Dose. Glad to have you. Okay. What do I do for work? I am a LAMP developer, Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP, focusing originally on custom content management systems and bespoke content management systems, but these days I'm doing a lot of migrating old systems to WordPress just because it's simpler in terms of long-term upkeep, which is boring, but it pays the bills, so I don't really talk about it much in my videos. I say it's boring, but the thing is, the interesting things about my job are all like talking about like things that are clients might get upset if I talked about. So what I can talk about of my job is not particularly interesting. We run into weird problems all the time. Okay. King Style Toast says, it's very hard to get everyone's schedules to work together for D&D in real life as well. That is very true. And that is one of the reasons why I'm so appreciative that my Patreon patrons have made time. Some of them even like took a day off work here or there to play in my 5-hour D&D test sessions. So it's been really helpful for me to practice the alternate rules I've kind of worked out to kind of keep the game moving for the speed Ravenloft. Although I really feel like I just got to get everybody to commit to a few sessions in a row. It's because we need to have. Hey, Fibro Wolf, glad to have you. We need to have an actual real Ravenloft game too, no matter how good the alternate rules I make are, or the alternate storyline. Okay, so yeah, well, let's see. I've got stone bricks now. I think that what I want to do is go through and work on heightening the wall that I was working on before. Let's go ahead and run this way. Randall Bilby says you have at least one other professional lamp developer watching. Excellent, Randall. And Jan Fan says I'm sitting at my job at a web host right now. Yay! They haven't gotten you the stand-in desks yet? They're very trendy. Okay. What time is it for me? I'm in Central Time. And it's 1:58. So I cannot keep recording indefinitely, or I cannot keep the chat going indefinitely. I'm eventually going to have to switch back to recording mode and finish out the episode. But we were almost done with that anyway, so it's a good time to do that soon. Chen Fan does have a stand-in desk. Yeah, at my last job, they bought us all stand-in desks after they moved us to a terrible facility and doubled my commute. And I left anyway. It wasn't enough. Those height-adjusted motor stand-in desks, though, are pretty nice. So, no complaints there. So let's see. And we're going to keep going before mobs start spawning and killing us. But yeah, thank you guys to everybody who has joined from the Asuma stream. I appreciate you checking me out on Twitch. And feel free to click follow. I don't have a subscribe button. I'm not an affiliate because I triple stream to Mixer and YouTube, and they don't let you do that if you want. And I'm like, you guys wouldn't be giving me enough money to be exclusive. Like, exclusivity, not for me. Merry Christmas, Fallen Buzzard. Let's see here. Almost done. This is how walls get built. A few blocks at a time. I'm going to go ahead and switch the face cam off and start the recording up again. So, start recording. As I look around, not only am I reviewing the year, but I'm reviewing this wall, and what I see here is that we have lopped the blocks off the top successfully, 2 meters down, none to go, and I think the whole thing has a lot to show for it. I started working on this little wall as well because, I thought maybe it'd be extra swell to get a little bit of extra progress in, where I can, and that's a win. It's always nice to knock these things out wherever and whenever we can. So, on the whole, just getting this all put together. This is going to be so much more playable now than it was. And just because I took the time to sit and think about all the things that I did this year, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch and asking about them. Now, you guys might have noticed that this video was mid-roll ad-free, and that is because of a $50 a month Patreon patronage by our friend Mother Yackle. So I'm going to go ahead and, in lieu of that mid-roll ad, read a poem that I wrote in acknowledgement of her support. I didn't write the poem I say I'm going to read a poem I wrote in acknowledgement of her support. I didn't write the poem because she supported the channel. I already had the poem written, but I'm going to read it because she paid me to read it instead of running a mid-roll ad on this video. So, if you hate poems, you can stop the video now and just be glad you didn't have your time wasted in the middle. But otherwise, let me go ahead and pull up this poem. I can't understand why, when I drive, my hair is open. Oh, okay, we're going to move this to a different window. Cut that out. Okay. And also, we're going to switch to a slightly better angle. Cool. I can read the whole poem now, bigger text. Okay, let's try that again. Take 2. I can't understand why, when I drive, my hair always flies before my eyes, frustrating me. But I suspect it has to do with the haircuts I've skipped and skipped and skipped. I'm at the end of my rope. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Okay, we stopped the recording there, and we are back to chat mode. So, once again, that is not the actual end of the recording session, or like it's not the end of the hangout. It's the end of me finishing that video. So let's go ahead and lower this one as well. This should not be this high. Didn't realize I'd forgotten this one entirely. Okay. Do I want to visit Mumbo's Cake near the community area? I have already visited Mumbo's Cake, so that is not an urgent priority for me. So let's see. Why is it still called Hermitcraft? Because that's the name of the server, and we're not going to change the name for no reason. Let's see. It's like how, when, what's her name? When Diane left Cheers, they still called it Cheers, even though she was the cheerful one. Like, it's just the name of the show at a certain point. Howdy! Ooh. Yay. Whoa. I'm glad that shelf was there. I didn't realize it was there. I should probably light this shelf up also. Side note. Okay, so let's go ahead. Dang it. Who is the skeleton bandit cub? I don't know. It's a mystery to me as well. Can I reach that one from here? No. And this is how we run out of food again. But you know what? At least we got to recover all these materials before they broke. Apparently Cub Fan and Scar lost a skeleton or something. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. But if you guys know, feel free to fill me in. Hey, Aqua Spartans, thank you for the follow on Mixer. Okay, so you can just kind of fill this in here. I probably should set up the actual torches on the grid like I have them on the ground, but that's not quite as urgent up here because we're just trying to keep mobs from spawning. But okay. So let's see. At this point, I've got 2 Hermitcraft episodes pre-recorded, and I've got. I thought I had 4 Hermit Skies episodes pre-recorded, but it turns out one of them I actually screwed up the video on. I almost wonder if I should fix that now, or not fix the video, fix the audio. I'm gonna have to record new audio for that Hermit Skies episode. So maybe maybe the way to do that is like to do the episode real quick. How do I have a good way to actually queue up? If I open VLC with this episode that I have the lost audio on, let's try this. I'm going to do something new I've never done on the stream before. And that's I'm going to try and record over an episode I previously recorded that broke. Like, because the microphone wasn't working right. So, whoa. That's probably not the best way to do that. Let me add the camera back in. Where's my camera? Add existing Logicam? Yeah, okay, so let's make that smaller. Yeah, okay, good. Then we're going to add a window capture called VLC. That name's already in use. What? Okay, and there's VLC. Okay. So we're going to put that under there. And we are going to try something different. So I have a video here that I recorded the other day, and the audio for it was lost. And I don't remember exactly what I said, or any of what I said. But we're going to try to not lose or waste all of this footage, because it's important for the progress of the series. So let's try this. Okay, so this is probably where I actually started the recording, because I usually turn the HUD off. So start recording. Okay. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. As you can see, we've got Joe's Bridge before us. We've got a book. We've got some things we can hop on top of. They're sieves. They're not auto sieves, but you know what? That's sometimes you gotta auto take, but sometimes you gotta auto give. But you know what? This episode's actually a little bit strange, a little bit weird in interesting ways. You see, I've recorded audio for this episode and then lost it all. So basically, in order to not lose the progress of this episode, I'm recording new audio after the fact, and I have no idea what I'm going to do next. Oh no, why did I open that box? Probably because I'm about to talk about how Wells Knight suggested I build a builder. And so in order to build that builder, I'm going to have to run to Wells Knight's base and buy a bunch of things from Wells Mart. Then I'm going to come back here, try to construct it, and then realize I could delete my entire base. So maybe that's the entire episode? Let's see. Okay, so trying to find when I first arrived in Wells Knight's base. We are on our way to Wells Knight's base in order to activate our coinage as kind of a form of currency. Although there's no concurrency between the video and audio because this is post-recorded audio, look at this. Look at Wells Knight's base. This is insanely fancy. But you know what? It's so fancy. He put a store up top where I can trade these coins for stuffs, and then I can take those stuffs, or staves, if you will, and then I can turn those back into, materials that I'm going to use to create this builder. Now, Wells Knight probably had, some sort of, ulterior motive for telling me to build this expensive builder, because he knew he was going to sell me a bunch of stuff. And you know what? It's going to be how it works. We're going to hop in this teleporter here. Whoosh. I love that whoosh. And then we are going to go ahead and let's go ahead and buy some things. Time skip. Okay. So it looks like I just ran back and forth to Wells Knight's base a lot. Okay, so before building the actual... Having returned safely from Wells Knight's base with everything we need, we can now go ahead and construct not only the builder, but the RF Tools shape manual, which will tell us basically how terrifying this device is. Spoiler alert, it is terrifying. I was like, oh, this is cool. I'll just like create something so I can clone these bridge segments and make my bridge stretch on into infinity. Turns out I can't because it's like an insane like box that can make matter disappear or appear at will, and I don't really understand how it works at all. But core concept, I'm going to go ahead and make that book, and then I'm going to like read a bunch of it aloud, which honestly I probably was going to end up cutting out anyway. So I'm like, oh, shield system. I love a simple shield. That sounds great. But no, this shield system is insane. Every piece of every part of this is actually crazy. So, I don't know. It's a whole thing. So, I'm just going to kind of click through this a little bit, and then I'll build the builder, which, I mean, it's not that expensive to actually make, but, like, the difference between, like, building geometrical shapes like a dome, torus, or box, or, like, quarrying an area in a certain shape is, like, one button. If you put, like, the buttons in the wrong places, everything blows up. It is terrible, and I'm terrified of all of this. This is not okay. This is a bad example of good things. If you like good things, you shouldn't be here for this. But let's go ahead and skip ahead. Time skip. Where is the... Where's the builder? Apparently I just... Where's the part where I actually build the builder? Come on, there's got to be a part of this video where I build the builder. Oh, there it is. So we're going to come over here and check out this builder. We've got 1.5 MMRF in it, and that should be enough to get started. But look at this interface. This is not a safe thing. So basically, a lot of this video was me trying to build this thing, and then realizing how terrifying it is, and then getting scared, and then trying to calm myself down. So I've had a lot of time to calm down since then, but like really, this thing, it's going to show up in all of my future videos, which is why I couldn't just completely delete this video and, when I realized that the audio was bad. Because, like, in my next few videos, I'm going to be like, yeah, we're still trying to get the stuff to make the builder work safely. But yeah, I did want to have kind of like, oh, look, you can change the GUI. That makes you feel like it's friendlier and won't destroy your entire base. But yeah, it is not ideal. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today on this painful audio re-record of a video that, for story reasons, I cannot cut out of my Hermit Skies series, despite losing the audio the first time. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Okay, stop recording. And that's the audio. We've got the audio. What does the builder do? It deletes and creates matter. It is insanely dangerous. So we are going to go ahead and stop this playback now. Cool. So this is a weird stream in general. But actually, I think at this point, what I need to do is I need to focus on moving footage around between my computers to get ready for the holidays. So I'm probably going to go ahead and head out now because file system stuff is not particularly interesting for you guys to watch. But thank you guys so much for joining the stream today. Thanks again to Eagle Fam for her donation. And until next time, stream, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.